Hello LabVIEW people! Today I'm going to show you how to use PromVIEW, the Prometheus client library for LabVIEW. So basically, PromVIEW enables you to gather custom metrics from your LabVIEW application and expose them in a format which is compatible with Prometheus. Eventually, the data that is ingested by Prometheus can be displayed in a tool such as Grafana, which is in my opinion a fantastic solution to make dashboards. Before getting started, make sure that you have a LabVIEW 2020 or later, a working Prometheus instance that is able to connect to the machine you'll be using to run PromVIEW, and a configured and running NI web server. First, you'll need to install PromVIEW. It's available on the IPM or directly from the GitHub repository. You'll find all the information you need to get there in the description box below. Let's start with the NI web server. The only thing that you have to do here is to make sure that HTTP protocol is allowed and the HTTP port is open. Also make sure that your firewall is configured to do that, and so that Prometheus can use this port. Here we are finally ready for the demo. In the IPM there is a Show Examples button. Click it and let's take a look at the PromVIEW examples. The shortcut opens a folder with the more advanced example, but for now we'll move to the parent folder and open the basic metrics example. This sample project contains two main components. The first one is the LabVIEW app, where we have a simple VI with an event structure which has been configured to listen to every click you make on these two pictures. In the app we create two metrics, a gauge, which value matches the latest event structure timeout value, and a counter to keep track of the number of clicks on the pictures. So for now, let's just run the VI. The second component is the PromTest1 web service. It contains one resource VI that allows you to expose the metrics from your LabVIEW application in the plain text HTML file. Start the web service, and then copy the URL of the resource VI. Before we check the metrics, let's just click here and there on the picture control on the VI. Then open your favorite web browser and paste the URL, but make sure to remove the trailing registry parameter because we won't be using it in this example. Okay, now, this is how PromVIEW exposes metrics. We have the default system metrics from the LabVIEW process which runs our app. Then at the bottom we can see two lines. This is where we can get how many times we've clicked on each picture. So if I click again on the pictures and refresh the page, I can see that the counter value has increased, and the latest event time value has also changed as well. You have to remember that a metric can have many different values depending on the number of unique label combinations. Here it's pretty simple since we only have one label and two different values, one for each picture. So everything looks good on the LabVIEW side, so now let's make sure that Prometheus is able to connect to this web page and parse the data in it. To do so, let's switch to the Prometheus UI. We need to go to Targets here to make sure that the URLs that Prometheus needs to scrape are correctly set up. And by the way, this is a read-only UI, so any change to the Prometheus configuration must be done directly on the machine. If you're not too familiar with the Prometheus, there's a lot of useful tutorials online. Here I have already configured a job named PromVIEW Demo1, where I told Prometheus to collect data from this URL. And by the way, it's the exactly same URL as before. Now that we've seen that Prometheus is able to collect and ingest data from our LabVIEW application, all we have to do is try to query our counter data using the graph menu. You'll see that I just need to start typing and the autocomplete feature helps me find the metric I'm looking for. Let's just run this simple metric query. And there it is. There we have our two counter values, and we can go and click on the pictures once again, rerun the query, and see that it's updated. So this is pretty much done, and we have the whole data chain all the way from the LabVIEW app to Prometheus. We could stop here, but I really wanted to quickly show you Grafana, which is a super powerful open source data visualization tool. So let's go and see Grafana. What we can do here is create a simple dashboard, add a new panel. It can be anything, a table, a graph, a gauge, you name it. Then we ask Grafana to fetch data from Prometheus and make sure that the connector from Prometheus is actually configured. Now all we have to do is to type the metric name there, and we have the data displayed in the graph. Let's just quickly change the time range so the graph makes more sense there. From there, you should be able to make custom dashboards and plenty other exciting things with LabVIEW, Prometheus, and Grafana. I really hope this video will help you get started with PromVIEW. Please leave a comment if you feel like it and share your thoughts. Thanks for listening, and bye.